WhatsApp today. The thing is like I did not get those credential yet, so I'll be uploading all these programs in the WhatsApp. Can you download it using the web WhatsApp?
Okay, Shrikant.
Okay, so yeah, thank you guys. So let me just Okay, so today we'll be discussing about the program Armstrong. Okay, so what is Armstrong? What is Armstrong number? I'll tell you what is the Armstrong number. Okay, so let us consider we have some number. Okay, so let us take some 153. Okay, so here when we take this individual numbers, okay, so 1, 5 and 3, and each number is multiplied by 3. Okay, so multiplied in the sense now I can say 1 into 3. So sorry, multiplied individually 3 times, not 3. If you say that 3, then we'll get the invalid value. 1 into 1 into 1, 5 into 5 into 5. Now 3 into 3. Okay. So now what is the output of this? So 1, what is the output of this? 5 5s are 25. 25 5s are
125.
125. Okay. So here it is 27. 3 into 3, 9, 9 into 3, 27. When you add them, okay, when you add them, so what is the output here? 153. Okay. So this is nothing but an Armstrong number. Okay. Armstrong number is like when we take individual numbers from the given number and we multiply by itself 3 times. Okay. 1 into 1 into 1 and 5 into 5 into 5, 3 into 3 into 3. Okay. So I should get the exact output. Okay. So this is the output I should get when I again add them all individually after multiplying them by itself. Okay. So this is what the program that we have right now. So this is similar to the reversing the number, and we use the division and multiplication as well as like modulus. Okay.
Shrikant, why we have multiplied only 3 times?
Yeah, the value, individual value, this is nothing but you can see we are multiplying by itself. 1 into 1 into 1.
No, actually, what is the reason that we are multiplying by 3 times only?
Yeah, this is Armstrong actually. The rule of the Armstrong is like we have to individually take the number and we have to multiply it 3 times. Okay, so then we have to produce this output. So, so when we add them, so we should get this output. This is like formula of Armstrong.
Okay.
You want to check something, okay? In case of prime numbers, we saw that, right? Yeah. Now, if you are taking some number and we have to divide it by the numbers with the range, okay? For example, if you want to check 7, okay? So 7 is divisible by 2. 7 is like divisible by 3. So likewise, we have this formula, right? Kind of like, this is kind of like a rule that we have for the prime numbers. It is similar for the rule that we have for the Armstrong numbers. For even numbers, if you want to find out whether that is an even number or not, what you do is like you are going to divide by 2, and if it produces result 0, then it is a even number. Okay. So likewise, we have these things for the Armstrong number. Okay, these are the rules that we have to check for this. Okay. So for example, if you take some number 111, so what is the output of it? Okay, so the given number is like, it's not an Armstrong because 1 into 1 into 1 plus, again repeat the same thing, 1 into 1 into 1. So get what is the output of it? We'll get 3. So this is not an Armstrong number. Okay. Certain rules are defined for this set of numbers. Okay, if you say factorial, we have some formula for that, right? So likewise, we have for the abstract numbers. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm going to write a program. Now you guys will be helping me with this. Okay, so I'll take number. I want to check whether this 153 is Armstrong or not. Okay, so then I'm going to take something called, I want to store the remainder. I want to check the result also. Okay, so which loop I have to use now?
For loop.
Okay, so if I use for loop, what happens here? What is that? How many number of iterations you are going to do?
3.
Now tell me the logic now. I'll try to frame the logic based on your inputs.
No, I'm not sure about it.
Okay. Because here we don't know that how many iterations it may take. So for this reason, I'm going to take the while loop. Okay. So here I'm going to check that while not equals to number is not equal to 0. Till this condition is false, I'm going to iterate this loop. Okay. So now tell me, I need to get the first number out of it. So what is that I can do now? Last number. Anything is fine. So to get the remainder, what I have to do? Is this the one that I'm going to use here? 153 divisible by 10. What is the remainder here? It goes 15 times, right? See, we have to find out its logic, guys. 153.3 we get. Then 3 will be stored as like a remainder, right? So I got the remainder. Now what I need to do as per our logic? Here you can see it is like 3 into 3 into 3. I have to do this, right? 3 times I have to multiply. So then what I have to do now? I'll take result. Then I'm going to multiply by itself 3 times. Okay. Then after I'm going to add the result. Whatever result I'm going to get in the next iteration, that I'm going to add it to that particular result. Okay. For example, for the first time, I'm going to add it. I'm going to assign this value as like 0. Okay. So what is the output now? 3 into 3 into 3, 27 plus 0. Now what is the result that we are getting? Result is equal to 27. Right. You got the result. Now what I need to do? So one number is like gone, right? 153. The remainder I'm taking it, I'm just removing that. Now, in case if you are taking this integer value, it will not accept the decimal. Okay. So what we have to do to get only the value that we are trying to get, like, the value that we are trying to get is like 15. We have to remove that 3. So for this, I want to divide with 10. So what it does is like it's going to consider only the quotient. Okay, not the remainder. So we get the value 15 here. Okay, so what the value of num becomes now? So num becomes like number becomes 15. 15 is not equal to 0. Again, we are going to take this remainder. Now it's like 1.5. Okay, 5 will be stored here. Okay, what is the result? 27. Here 5 into 5 into 5. Okay, it's 125 plus 27. Now again, we are going to divide that number 15. Now 1.5. 1 will be stored in number. Okay, 1 is not equal to 0. Remainder, when you divide 1 with 10, so what is the value that we are going to get? 1, right? So after that, we are going to just take that 1 and multiply it by itself for 3 times and add the value whatever we have stored as part of results, and that should be added to this 1. It's nothing but 150. 2 plus 1, 150. Okay, so before performing any operations, I'm going to store this value somewhere. Okay, so I'm just taking next line. I'm going to take int value to check equals to number. Okay, so because if I am performing any actions on this number, so it will get changed. It with the number whatever we have assigned will be changed, right, during this operation. So for that reason, I'm going to just store it in some other variable for checking. Okay, value to check. So after this while loop, I'm going to check the value here. Okay, so I'm going to compare with the result. If both of them are equal, then I'm going to get the result. It's Armstrong number. Let's read this and let's see whether that number is Armstrong or not. It's Armstrong number. Okay. So if you want to check something like 151, let's go and see. Okay. If it's not Armstrong number, then I have to get this statement printed on the console saying that it's not Armstrong. It's not Armstrong. Okay. The simple thing is like now you can see it's like only 125 it becomes and 126, 127. Okay, the output of 151 is like 127. Okay, which is not equals to the same number. Let us take any other number which is Armstrong. I'm just taking 373. It's not Armstrong. 371. It's Armstrong. Okay. So it's nothing but 7 into 7. What is the 7 into 7 into 7? So it's some value. Okay. 7 sevens are. What is the value you get as like 7 sevens are?
49.
49.
59.
49.
49.
49. 49 into 7. Just calculate it. Okay. So then again, you see, this is what we have to find out. Like if the given number is Armstrong or not, then we have to just do this set of operations on it. So it will let you know this is Armstrong number. Okay. Are you clear with this, guys? The logic is like here we can still go ahead and use that for loop, but we have to again perform one of the operations here is like again, if you try to do it with the for loop, how do we do it now? Again, assignments and all things will be done, but we have to check the condition again, increment the value. So if we have that set of things, we can do it. But there is another way, guys. Okay, so there is another way of using this for loop is like see. So we can use like this also. Is it working now? This way also we can do it. Okay, there is another way I'll show you. Even if you write this for loop as a null, and here you can just check it like check the value. This will become unreachable code here. So code will not come here. So let me do one thing. Because we are checking the condition, right? So if it is true, then only it will go and do something. Okay. Else what it does is like it's going to check for something. But here what I'm going to do is like to avoid this condition to check for this condition, what I'm going to do is like we can do based on our whatever logic that you want to apply, you can apply. Okay. So but the simplest way is like I'll tell you how can we use this for loop in this case. Okay, so here, if you want to check it after this for loop, we can check it. Okay, let me do one thing. I don't want to confuse you now. I'll put the condition here and I'll remove this if block. Okay, So it will perform everything inside this and it's going to just produce this result. Okay. So if this condition is false, it will come out of it. So here we can use while loop also and we can use for loop like this. Only the thing is like I'm not initializing, I'm not checking for the condition because everything is done inside this for loop. Only checking this condition is true or false. Okay, if this is true, then it will go and execute this code. If it is false, it will not execute this and it will come out of it. Okay. So when do we use this for loop? Again, this is a contradictory statement, right? I told you like we should use the for loop whenever we have some set of iterations. Okay. So we can use that way also, we can use this way also. But best way is like if we are not sure about the number of iterations that we have to perform, then we can go and use the while loop. Okay. Are you clear with this, guys? We have alternate for this. Okay, whichever way you want to use, we can use it. So logically talking, it's all up to us like what condition based on what based on the condition we'll be using this set of iterative statements. Okay, are you clear with this, guys?
Yes, Shrikant.
Okay, thank you. So now we are going to write some simple programs. Even number. Okay, so I want to print even numbers from 1 to 100. In between, how many even numbers are there in between 1 to 10, 1 to 100? Okay, so now tell me the logic. What can we write for this? It's very simple, right? We'll try to use different ways. Okay, so it's very simple if we try to write this for loop and all. So what I'm going to do is like I'll take int number is equals to 100. Okay, so here I'm going to take number is not equals to 0. Okay, so if I take like this, what happens now? What I can do so that the number becomes 0. Shall I start? Yeah. Tell me, yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
I less than or equal to 100.
Okay. It's equals to? We'll try to do it in a different fashion. Okay. What is happening here? I've written something. I have some requirement. I have written something. So I'll just trying to print the reverse order. Like what is that number and what if it is like number is divisible by 2 and it leaves the remainder 0, then I'm going to say that that is a even number. But what I have done here?
Decrement.
Yeah, decrementing the value. But will it happens? The decrement happens here. What is the number that we are going to get here? So this is like we have a 100 number here. So 100 is not equals to 0. This is true. Then I is equals to number. Okay. So what is I value here? 100. 100 is less than or equal to 0?
Yes. No.
No. So that is the reason why this is not coming out of this while loop. So it is like it is always true and this is always false. So there is no way of executing this. So what is that we have done wrong here? We have to put I is greater than or equal to 0. If I say I is greater than or equal to 0, what happens here? What is the value of I now? 100. 100 is greater than or equal to 0. Then we are going to get this value, right? So, but what is happening here? Every time 100 will be checked. What I need to do now? This is very simple program, guys. I'm just putting it in a complex way. Okay. So if you can directly see, if I say so don't learn program like no, you start with something difficult and you can easily understand. That is a even number here. This is fine. Use something else like if you want to test with 10, they'll say 10. It is a even number. Okay. For example, if you want to consider some value, you want to check like where int I is equals to 0, I is less than or equal to some 100. I'll make it very simple here. You got it right? Remove the 0. I will just take this one as like 1 so that we can get the even numbers which are in between 1 to 10. Okay. So this is not the only way. I try to do it in a different way. I want to take the while loop and I want to check it here and I want to assign that number to this I value here. So still we can go and do that. But what we have to do is like, if you put this while loop, right, this is, so sometimes it is like not required. Okay. So if this is working fine, then it is not required. If you want to do it in a different approaches, that is also quite possible. The thing is like, I want you to try in a different ways. Okay. Not only the one way that I'm discussing. I'll just show you some ways like this would work and this wouldn't work. Okay. So the thing is like, you have to put yourself in a, like, you have to think a different logics. Okay. One problem statement can have multiple solutions for that. Okay. But we have to select the feasible one. Okay. So that's all up to you. Like, how do you want to write the logic? Okay. But the thing is like, you have to learn the programming in this way. I mean, I appreciate people to learn, like, take the different approaches, not only look into this approach and try to get the solution. Okay. So if I'm writing Armstrong number or something program like this, you may have some other approach. You can still go and use for loop and you take the value and you just increment, whatever you want to do. So if you want to take from back, so here I've taken from the front, right? So sorry, I've taken from the back, right? So you can take it from the front, like you can take the 3 numbers. So logic would be same. But how do you pick the values? That is what the thing we need to consider. Okay. Let's not put much difficulties right away, but okay. So what is the other thing that we can do if we want to find out the numbers from 1 to 100, whether they whether those are like even numbers or odd numbers? Can we write a else statement here? Other than 0, whatever the remainder that we get is like 1, right? I can see 1 is a odd number, 2 is a even number, 3 is a odd number, and 4 is a even number. Okay. So like this, it will keep on checking the values. Okay. So 99, you can say every alternate number is a odd number. Okay. Very clear is this, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So now we'll go and try to find out what are the ASCII values. ASCII, what is ASCII value? What is ASCII and what is ANSI? Okay, for every character that we have in Java, or for example, that we are using as part of program, that will have some set of value to it. Okay, value assigned to it. For example, if I am writing A, So A will not be understood by the the compiler or the system. So what it does is like it's going to convert its value. Like for example, if I'm say A, so it would be like its value will be 65. Okay. So 65 again, it will be divided by 2, or what it does is like it's going to convert this value into a binary number. Okay. So now we'll find out like what is the range of this and what is the range of like values that we have in associated numbers for that particular character. Okay. So I'm talking about like characters. So how do we define those characters? Like how do we get the particular value of that character? Is like we have to use the logic and we'll be checking out what is the ASCII value of it. Okay. So here I'm going to take, for example, I want to print. So I'm just writing a small statement here. So that's it. Defined. Okay. So here I am going and trying to print the value of A. Okay. Let's go and print this A value. Okay. So this is not defined anywhere. So that is the reason why it is just showing error. So here I'm going to define A value. Okay. So I'm assigning some value to this, but I want to find out. I say I'll get 0. But now you see what is that I got? Some value. What is the actual value of A? This is 0, right? So 0 has got some, internally it has got some ASCII value for this. Okay, this is like undefined value which we have here, but we'll try to see what is that value that we are going to print as part of like the value that we are defining. Okay, so for example, if here going to specify here now what I'm going to do is like I'll just try to, so we try to just assigning a value like A is equals to 0, int A is equals to 0, and I'm trying to find out what is the ASCII value of it. Okay, character of A. So it's showing some value. Okay, now what I'm going to do is like I'll take a character value A. Okay, so character ch is equals to some characters I've taken. So now I want to find out what is the ASCII value of this. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is like I'll just put it as like int. ch. So what is the ASCII value of this one is like 97. What is the ASCII value of like integer? Just nothing but what I'm doing is like I'm just converting that particular data types. Okay. So I want to find out the character. That what is the ASCII value of this character is like what is the it's 97. Okay. And what is the ASCII value is like other characters, like there could be B, there could be C, or there could be a lot of other values that we have, right? So for example, if I say Z, go and execute this, you see the value is like 25. Okay. But I want to get the characters within the range of 95 to, so for example, we have taken 97, right? 97 to 122. Okay. So then how do we frame the logic here? It's like, what is that you want to get? Int I is equals to 97 and I is less than or equals to 122 and I plus plus. Tell me what can we do now? So here we are defining character to integer. When I convert this character to integer, I'm getting this value. So if I want to convert this integer to character, then what I have to do is like char of I. To close one more bracket. Let's see what are those values that it will get printed. Do you see this? The ASCII value of 97 is, sorry, the ASCII value of A is 97. ASCII value of B is 98. ASCII value of C is 99. Likewise, it will print the, otherwise it will convert the values. Okay, so here what we are trying to do is like I want to find out the character for which we have a ASCII value. Okay, so 97, 98, 98. Likewise, we have 128. Okay, so if you want to print the range between, we'll take some 0 or something else, like okay, let's take 122. Okay, so we'll try to print what are the different characters that we have for associated ASCII values that we are trying to print. You can see, so these are like some reserved, like this can be like, we have a spaces, or we have some other characters. Not only these characters, right? We have a special characters here, and we have numeric values here, and we have like the capital values that we have, like capital characters, capital alphabets, and here like small alphabets that we have. Okay, capital letters and small letters. So these are like kind of the spaces that it has assigned. Like, if you want to find out the range for this, now we can ignore this. I'm just guessing this would be like some, we'll take from 65 at least. Then we try to print the values. Okay, if I take 65, there are other values which are reserved for special characters and numerics are not displayed here. Okay, so still we have something here. Let me take 65. Okay, so this is like, this could be the range of it. Okay, so these are like, the ASCII value and the characters. These characters, all these characters are there in the keyboard. Okay, if any other characters, for example, we have control is there, we have alt is there. So how does it exactly understand? So these all characters will have some reserved spaces for this. Okay, so if you are performing some set of actions, like there could be other characters that we have still, we are not sure about, like, we have doll, we have rupee, and we have some other characters. Those all things can be converted, but they may not be like, recognized as part of few programming languages. Okay, are you clear with this, guys? So what we try to do here is like, we want to find out the associated character of that ASCII values. Okay, so this is the ASCII value and we have a character for this. Okay, so if you want to do it in reverse, what you can do is like, you can just use, what is that? Specify some. Okay, let me do it outside of the for loop so that we can understand. Okay, so here I'm specifying a character. CH is equals to some 9. I'm taking a numeric number. Okay, so that we can understand how this numeric number can be converted into a ASCII value. What is the numeric value of 9? The character C, 57. ASCII value of 9 is like 57. Okay, so this is how we try to find out the ASCII values. Okay, based on this ASCII values, we identify that particular character. Okay, are you clear with this, guys?
Yes, sir.
Let me write it in the next. Okay, otherwise I'll just write a small statement here so that it will be printing in the next line.
Shrikant, you have written in there the character as 9. Character, it should be the alphabet one on.
Yeah, see, character is like, if we define anything in a single code, that will be treated as like a character.
Okay.
Okay, so this is not a integer now. Okay, it's not a data type of int. It's like character.
Okay.
Okay, if you
Okay.
specify something else, then it will throw the error. So it will accept one character at a time, whatever it can be. It can be anything, special character, it can be capital letters, or you can write anything. Okay, so this will be treated as like a character. So if you want to find out what is the ASCII value of this cap symbol, so you can go and execute it. You can get this is 94. Okay, which is around, this is what the value of this special character. Okay.
Yeah, okay, got it.
So far, are you enjoying the logics and programs? I'm just,
Yes,
just
yes.
asking you guys. Okay. So if you have anything, please ask me. So because this is very, very basic that we are talking about, but there are a lot of things that we'll be discussing and everything will be like, we are going to step by step we'll be learning, but the thing is like we'll be making it like all things will be clubbed. Okay,
Sir,
I'll show you. Yeah.
sir.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what I want to say, if you have two methods to solve this question,
Yeah.
then please you first comment on first method or give that name that is it's the first method, and then afterward you want to do another method, then first comment on first method and then do another method, which is better for us for our reference afterward.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that. The thing is like I'm not going in a see. The thing is like randomly I'm picking and this is not my style of teaching it. But anyways, like I'll do that. Okay. So if you are not comfortable with that, I'll just try to change it. So no worries. So I want to confuse you guys so that
Thank
you
you,
can
sir.
understand what is that exactly, how the logic will be framed. In real time scenarios, you see that you learn the concept, but the thing is like most of them, they don't know how to use them. If I say, okay, go and use this while loop, then why they don't ask why do we use this while loop and all. So they don't go with the other approach. They think like, okay, while loop is working, let us go with while loop. So why can't we go and use this for loop, or why can't we go with this, any other approaches that we have? So that is the reason why I'm just making you guys to understand. So why don't we use this? Why don't we go with this approach? At the first shot, if I tell you like this is working, what happens is like you go and try with that and you convince yourself, or you say that, okay, this is working. Let me just go and use this one. Okay, guys, I'll do that way. Like I'll go with the positive one, then I'll go with the next approach and I'll show you what are the errors that we make generally.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, yeah, so no issues. So we have another thing that we missed out is like jump statements, right? In for loop. I'll write it as like for loop jump statements so that we can cover under this. Try to rename it. So here I'm going to write two methods. Let's click void. Break statement. How this break works. Another one is like continue. So what do we need to do is like whenever we are creating any methods which are not static, then we have to have this main method created and we have to create the object for that class. Okay, so we'll discuss about objects and all in coming classes, but for now just remember this is the statement that I'm going to use for creating the object. Okay, so here I'll take the break statement. I'm going to call the break statement and I'm going to call the continue statement, but the logic is not written yet. I'm just trying to. So here for differentiating, I'm going to write a statement, printf statement. Here I'm going to write int I is equals to 0, I is less than or equals to 10, I plus plus. Okay. So break statement, what it does is like if any of this condition is satisfied, whatever condition we are putting as part of if statement, right? If this condition is satisfied, it will break that. Okay. So it will come out of that particular looping. Okay. I'll try to print the values of I here. Okay. So if this is satisfied, then I'm going to come out of this. Okay. So here I'll execute this program and I'll show you what is happening. is not the thing. Now you see, it's continuing with the iteration here. So when we get this condition satisfied, I is equals to 5. When I becomes 5, then it is like no breaking. This is nothing but this is jump statement. Okay. So jump statement, what it does is like it's going to jump. That's nothing but it will come out of this loop and it will try to print something which is written after this program. That is after that for loop. Okay. So I'll say that for loop end. Otherwise, end of for loop. Okay. So let's go and execute this and see what is the output. Okay. For loop end. So now it is little different when we use this continuous statement. Okay. So I'm going to take the same code. Only thing is like I'm going to replace this break with continue. Observe carefully. So what is happening here? You got 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is fine. But in the next iteration, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is missing. And continued with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So break is like when we satisfy this particular condition, it will come out of that loop. But in case of continue, what happens is like if we are satisfied with that particular condition, okay, if I is equals to 5, then what it does is like it will continue. Continue in the sense it will skip that particular condition. It will not print this value, but what it does like it's going to go and continue with the rest of the conditions. Okay, if this is satisfied, then what it does like it will ignore whatever the value that we are trying to print for this, or else continue with this. I mean printing at that particular state. Okay, particular. I mean to say that to execute set of statements which are defined as part of for loop will be ignored, and it will go and check for the next condition. That's nothing but it will increment the value. Now 6, it will become I will become 6, and 6 is less than or equal to 10. Then it will go and check for this condition. This condition is not meeting, so it will print this, and it will keep on continuing until this condition is false. Okay, so continue is like it will skip that particular condition. Okay, condition in the sense it will skip that particular piece of code if that condition is satisfied. But here in this break statement, if this condition is satisfied, then it will come out of this particular for loop. Okay, so it will stop the condition checking or doing the iterations. It will come out of it. So it's nothing but completely breaking out of it. Continue is like leave that particular condition and continue with the next conditions. Okay, so this is the difference between break and continue. Are you clear with this, guys? Do you want me to explain it again?
Yes, Shrikant, can you please once again
In simple
explain?
terms, break is like breaking this loop. Continue is like skip that particular condition and continue with the next condition. Okay, so you need to remember it's like skipping that particular condition and continue with the next conditions until this condition is false. I'm going to say that until that condition is like satisfied. Okay. So break is like breaking that loop, and continue is that skip that particular condition and continue with the next condition. So that is the only difference. Here we are skipping this 5. Okay. So if I is equals to 5, come here. What it does is like control will not get into this. Okay. So this thing will not be executed. What it does like it will directly take you to this condition. But in break statement, if this is satisfied, control will come out of it, come out of the for loop. Okay. So continue is like it will directly continue with the next conditions if this condition is satisfied. Okay. So that is the difference. And other things are like we have a return statement. Okay. We'll try to execute this program. So what is it? What is that happening here? I'll try to put this console here, guys, so that it will be easy for you to understand. So let me close this all. Okay, look at the difference of each and every program. Okay, so break is like I'm breaking this particular for loop and coming to this line and I'm printing it here. Okay, so this is fine. For the break statement, it will break the for loop. And continue statement, it will ignore that particular condition. That's nothing, but it will not get into this for loop here to print what are the other statements which are defined as part of for loop, but it will go and continue with the next conditions. Okay, next conditions, if this condition is true, then it will go and print this. Okay, so if it is satisfying, it will skip it and it will go and check for the next condition. This is continue. Okay, so next is like we have a return statement here. If I is equals to 5, I am saying that return. So return, what it does is like it will not do anything. It will directly come out of particular method. Okay, so it will not do anything here. So at least we could see that break statement is coming out of the for loop and it is trying to print what are the rest of the statements that we have within that particular method. But return statement, what it does, like it will ignore everything, whatever we have written inside this particular method or for loop. It will come out of this loop once the condition is satisfied. Here I is equals to 5, then it will come out. That's the reason why we don't see anything for loop end here. Okay, so this is the difference I want to show you for 3 of them. Okay, so these are called gem statements: break, continue, and return. Are you clear with this, guys?
Yes.
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 So this is very important, guys. So generally in interviews, you are going to put it in a different fashion. So they are going to ask you like, why do we use this return statement? Why do we use break statement or continue statements? Okay. So if they ask you these questions, then directly you can say, these are the simple things that we use actually. But whenever it is like, framing some logic and if you want based on your requirements. So for example, there is a menu. I'll tell you when do we use this actually. Okay. So there are some menus here. Okay. Let us take, I have some shopping cart. In that menu, we have like search, or else we can take employee. Okay. So employee. So details. So it can be, we can have like employee name, employee ID. So this is kind of a drop down that we have. Okay. Employee ID or employee address, employee location, department. Okay, so in this case, what I'm going to do is like, I'm not worried about like employee location and address. I want to print rest of the things. Okay, I want to print rest of the things. What I'm going to do is like, I'm going to, in case like if I'm using for loop, what I will do is like, I'll use the continue because I have some other details also, right? For example, employee salary and all. So I want to check all these things, but I want to ignore these 2 things. So there I'm going to write the condition saying that if these 2 things are matching. Okay, so a simple condition is like if. So here you can take if happened to this has background is if employee that is equals to employee address and employee that is equals to some employee location. I'm going to say continue. Okay, if these things are matching, then what it is like, for example, if we are taking this one, it will ignore this address and location and it will continue to print the rest of the details, or else continue to pull the rest of the details. So in such cases, we are going to use the continue. And other thing is like, if I see the address, okay, so I want to print the list of elements which are there, which list of options which are available under this employee details. If I see this address, I want to just disconnect from that. So what I do is like, I'm going to and continue with the rest of the actions that should be performed as part of the method. Then we are going to use the break. If you want to come out of this directly, like all the methods and for loop, then you can use the return statements. Okay. So in generally, what we do is like, if you are trying to click something on this menu items, okay. So for example, I'll take this HRM example. So it will give a clear idea. Over here, job details. Okay. So I'm going to get all the details here. When I say employee status, I want to break it. So generally I'm going to get two of the things, like I'm putting in a loop and I'll get these two options. When I see this, I'll just say that break. Okay. So if I say break, then it will stop or come out of this loop and it will not get the details like rest of the options which are available under this. So other thing is like when I use continue, it will take this one, like, it will pull the value, like, job title, pay grades. Then when it looks into the this employee status, it will skip it and it will get these things. Okay. For example, if you want to click on this, okay. So if automation like requirement is like skip employee status and click all rest of the things. What you do is like when you get this option, okay, when you get this option, you'll skip it and you'll try to click on this job categories. Okay. So, and other thing is like you want to have only one click, like, job titles and come out of it. Okay. So we have a lot of list of items which are there in this particular menu item. Okay. Submenus. So just I want to click on job titles. What I will do is like I search for the job title, click on it and come out of that particular method. Okay. So in that case, what we do is like we are going to use the return statements. Okay. So this is when we are going to use these jump statements. So I'll show you these things, guys. Okay, don't worry. In the real time, how do we do it actually, and how do we collect these options, or how do we click on them? Everything will be discussed later. Are you clear with this, guys?
Yes, Shrikant. Yes.
Okay. Okay, guys, I'll stop it here, and we'll be starting with RS tomorrow. Okay. So we'll discuss a lot of programs are there in RS also. We'll discuss those programs, and most of them are like in interviews they are going to ask. Okay. So I'll upload all these programs, guys, today in WhatsApp, and you can just look into them and practice it. Okay.
Yes, Shrikant. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for your time, guys. We'll meet tomorrow.
Thank you.